Chapter 96, 86 Light as a Swallow. Seeing Lu Chenju's odd gaze, Wang Gang spoke earnestly. What's the matter? Don't you think hard Qigong is very useful? That's true, but the iron crotch skill. This is also a legitimate technique. Don't discriminate, okay? Here's the manual, you can look through it, but don't learn it just yet. Iron crotch skill is not like ordinary third-class hard Qigong. Its cultivation is riskier and requires guidance from a professional teacher. The risk being, one careless mistake could lead to sterilization. Lu Chenju asked skeptically. You know how to do it? Wang Gang gave a sheepish smile. I don't either. I'm thinking of finding a master of the iron crotch skill to train us. I'm still looking for someone. In the current martial arts world, there aren't many who practice hard Qigong, let alone a niche skill. We'll have to wait patiently. Wang Gang was also frightened by Wang Keiying. Damn, women are too ruthless. He always spared with men who understand the importance of their family jewels. No one would attack the groin. The mere thought is painful, but cruel women don't care. All right, thanks a lot. Lu Chenju thought it over. Learning another hard Qigong technique wouldn't be bad. However, he wouldn't learn any new martial arts before the winter exam. He aimed to enter martial arts university without examination. He didn't deny the usefulness of hard Qigong. It was just necessary to prioritize things properly. Wang Gang continued. Just practicing the Arhat skill is not safe enough. My advice is to practice iron crotch skill, iron armor skill, iron leg skill, iron head skill, all of them to achieve a Vajra unbreakable body. Of course, since you have second-class Arhat skill, it's not necessary to practice upper body hard Qigong like the iron armor skill. All four iron skills were third-class martial arts. They were much easier than Arhat skill and vigorous Vajra palm, but still time-consuming and taxing to master them all. Lu Chenju responded. So many martial arts, how do you manage to practice them all? Wang Gang said. Chenju, breaking through the first shackles is challenging. It's manageable up to the 6th rank with our talents. Achieving a breakthrough is not tough. It could take as few as several months to half a year. From 6th rank to 7th, and the cultivation steps beyond the 7th rank, require extensive and tedious water milling technique to endure, especially opening up 30 acupoints. Extremely difficult. I know many who reached 10th rank in Qi blood and mastered first-class fist techniques, but only managed to open 20 acupoints. Thus, during the extreme limit realm period, many have already graduated from their main fist techniques, and besides opening acupoints, they need to find other things to do right. One can't open acupoints 24 hours a day. That would be unbearably painful. That's when you can try learning other martial arts. I'm not trying to discourage you. For people like us, becoming a martial artist by the age of 30 is quite an achievement. But not being a martial artist is akin to being an ant. If faced with void things or those black knights with prosthetics, without cross-training techniques, we'd be at a huge disadvantage. My goal is to achieve small success in the 4 great iron skills and Vajra palm before I become a martial artist, so my ability to defend myself and make small mistakes in combat significantly increases. Cultivating both internally and externally for a Vajra unbreakable body, no one under a martial artist can match me. If I can achieve great success or even perfection, I might even be able to challenge a martial artist. Wang Gang had a clear vision for his future. After listening, Lu Chenju seriously cautioned. In theory that's true, but this approach might delay your normal martial arts cultivation. Brother Wang, don't stray from the path. Let's not worry about other things for now, come and spar. He was different from others. He could open acupoints quickly. He didn't agree with Wang Gang's method. Learning one hard Qigong technique was enough to save one's life. Additional training could wait until after becoming a martial artist. He believed that with his current progress, he could become a martial artist before the age of 20. Wang Gang laughed heartily. That's true, let's master what we have first. The sound of cicadas gradually faded, marking the end of summer. Before long, it was September 30. Stone Lake Division. Chen Zhen looked at Chen Yuan's message and smiled knowingly. Yuan has been performing well recently. He actually ranked among the top 30 in the newcomers assessment at Dragon and Tiger Academy. It looks like he might reach the 9th rank this year. Chen Zhen's greatest pride in life was Chen Yuan. This child's future achievements would surely surpass his own, with martial artist being just the starting point. 1.5 months had passed since the Hao Tai virtual incident, and the police had examined all clues related to the deceased, but hadn't found the mastermind behind the void things. Could it really just be an ordinary virtual disaster? Somewhat irritated, he summoned the case officers and asked, "Have all the people related to Mrs. Lin been investigated?" "They have." "Any issues?" "None. Mrs. Lin Bin's social circle includes some unemployed women, yoga instructors, and cosmetic surgeons. We've summoned and questioned each one. Everything is normal." Chen Jin remembered something and asked with a slight frown, "What about that Dr. Chen? Was he checked?" "This person is the deceased's beautician, and it's suspected there was some romantic involvement with the deceased, but these are just personal ethical issues. We've investigated him secretly, talked to his colleagues, and found no hints of links to any cult." "Have you examined all of Dr. Chen's chat records?" "We have." "All right, you may leave." After work, Chen Jin drove off in his personal car. "Please select a navigation address." The car's prompt sounded. "Beautiful Life Sejong Store." October 1st, early morning. Today was a special day for Lu Chenju. It was the first anniversary of the awakening of the martial arts tree, a day he would never forget. In front of Tiger Garden, he practiced his fist techniques 4 times, sweating profusely. He continued until an alert for progress in Tiger Supreme Fist chimed. After a brief rest, he resumed practicing the flying swallow sea flying routine. He hadn't neglected this auxiliary fist technique too much, and was only one step away from completing his long journey. At 7 o'clock, the quick and agile chi from the acupoints reshaped the lower part of Lu Chenju's body, ushering his sea-sweeping body into the great achievement realm. With a light jump like a flying swallow, he swept up a great tree, darted between branches, and then drifted gracefully back to the ground. The swallow-form fist truly deserves its reputation for agility and lightness. After achieving great success, I'm light as a swallow and lift heavy weights easily. Every step is like a dragonfly skimming water, running along eaves, climbing walls and trees. It's just a breeze. Master said that after reaching perfection, I could even float on water over short distances. Mountain crossing body excels at short-range agile movements. Sea sweeping body is better suited for extensive roaming and sweeping attacks. Combined, they allow me to easily handle most situations in combat. Chapter 97, 87 Cultivation and Retreat. After class, it was time for lunch. Lu Chenju made a video call to Li Xianghua. "Mom, are you getting used to living with Master?" "It's pretty good, much more comfortable than our old, broken-down place. It's very luxurious." "That's good. Have you been practicing your punches lately?" "I've been practicing. I've already become a beginner and feel like I might become proficient by next year. Dad's still so clumsy, he just isn't cut out for martial arts. Teacher Jai even said I have good comprehension. It's just a shame I started learning martial arts so late." Li Xianghua chattered on, while Lu Chenju listened quietly. Lu Chenju said, "You can help out with something at Teacher Jai's place, and if you're short on money, let me know. I'll transfer some to you. For now, there's no need to work." "We have money. Teacher Jai even offered to pay us, but Dad refused." "Right, you shouldn't take it." Lu Chenju also chatted with Lu Guoping for a while before hanging up. After the confrontation with void things, he devoted himself to cultivation at school, and he didn't even leave the campus. As for Lin Bin and his daughter, they returned to a normal life but didn't go back to the villa that was disrupted by void things. Instead, they rented a small house near the police station. The two of them needed time to recover from the loss of their family members. Lin Bin was extremely grateful to Lu Chenju for saving their lives. Lu Chenju asked him to remind Ryu Jun to practice punching. After the competition, he would go and teach Ryu Jun to punch. If they had any troubles in the meantime, they could video call him. After this incident, Lin Bin also decided to practice martial arts, asking Lu Chenju to teach him too, offering to pay double the lesson fee. If he knew some martial arts, he could have detected something was wrong earlier and at the very least could have fled with his daughter. Lu Chenju was of course happy to oblige. He made another call to a student. "Hello, Teacher Xiaolu, what's up?" "Mr. Wang, I won't be able to leave home to teach for a while. If you can't wait, I can refund your money. I'm really sorry." Doing this would mean that Lu Chenju would lose some of the fees that had already been taxed and divided up. It was somewhat of a loss, but the student's money wasn't easily earned either. The voice on the other end of the phone came through. "Teacher Xiaolu, you're too polite. It's not a lot of money and your services are exceptional. Whenever you have the time, just come by then. The young boss was a smart man. He saw that Lu Chenju was young but already 5th rank, and from the Dragon City Martial Arts School. A few thousand yuan to gain the good opinion of a potential martial artist was a sure win with no loss. All right, thanks for your support. Lu Chenju felt a warmth in his heart. There were still many good people in the world. After dealing with the backlog of his work outside the school, he devoted himself entirely to cultivation. Jai Chuantong sent him a list of over 100 prospective competitors from various martial arts academies in Sioux City. Among them, Lu Chenju spotted some familiar names, such as Liu Quanhai, who was representing his great-uncle's Blue Whale Martial Arts Hall. Bahajing Liu Tong, a martial artist from Tiger Spring District, practiced whale form fist, which was different from the historically long-established styles like those of the bird, tiger, leopard, and bear. The forms of the whale and the shark were among the elephant form sects that emerged after the establishment of Dezia. There was no difference in superiority between new and old martial arts. There was also someone from the Zih Martial Arts Hall. Because of his father's matter, he had looked up Wang Jian's information. This person was Wang Kang's brother, skilled in the 8 trigrams, known by the title Sky-Flipping King Hand. It sounded impressive, but in reality, he was just a 4th-rank martial artist. This title was probably influenced by the late predecessor, Sky-Flipping Hand Pang Yun from martial arts history. But since the titles Sky-Flipping Hand and Sky-Flipping Hand had already been taken by grandmasters, Wang Jian could only add the character King to set himself apart. Typically, ordinary martial artists wouldn't dare to choose flamboyant titles, especially those used by historical figures, as it is taboo. What if the family of the deceased had hidden descendants in modern times? Wouldn't that offend them? Moreover, if one's power was too weak at the start and they took on an impressive title without the strength to back it, others could covet your title and initiate a title challenge under the auspices of the Martial Arts Association. The victor would win the loser's title. In fact, the title of Kangshan Dragon King was acquired through such a challenge. How could such popular terms as Kangshan and Dragon King have never been used by anyone before? After a title change, it needed to be announced in the official media for a period of time to take effect. Let's get back to the main story. Wang Jian's son, Wang He, had already reached the 5th rank in his cultivation very early on. It wasn't known if he had achieved the 6th rank, but it was very likely that he had been practicing the Wang family's hereditary secret technique, Spring and Autumn Palm, which is a first-class martial arts from the lineage of the 8 trigrams. He was a formidable opponent. The remaining favorites for the championship were also seed players from the Fangshan region. Su Chen from Kunlun High School, Su Jiyushan from Dragon and Tiger High School. These two were both suspected of having reached the 6th rank in their cultivation. They had realized the essence of their skills earlier than Lu Chenju, having transferred to martial arts schools during their junior high years and were a year older than Lu Chenju, granting them a head start. He also noticed that Ricken, Wang Chong, and others from the Pingjiang Exchange competition would be participating in the upcoming Sioux City Exchange competition as well, though it was unclear if they had entered the 4th rank. After looking at the list, Lu Chenju put it away. No matter what, as long as I reach the 6th rank, I'll have it locked down. October 3rd, 9 p.m. Lu Chenju had finished his pile skill training, his training clothes soaked with sweat. Dragon and Tiger Heavenly Pile, the 10th acupoint opened. After the 10th acupoint, the difficulty increases by a level, but I'm already practicing the Dragon and Tiger Heavenly Piles for nearly 5 hours a day. I can't afford to spend more time for now. There are only 24 hours in a day, after all. Within the 10th acupoint, the leak acupoint, tendrils of chi blood began to emerge. Lu Chenju recalled the lectures from his teacher. The leak acupoint is extremely crucial. For ordinary people, it can prevent more than 10 types of common diseases. For martial artists, it can relax the muscles and harmonize the Ren vessels, defending against evil energies. Therefore, upon opening this acupoint, trivial void things dare not approach, and evil power cannot enter the body. Facing ordinary floating-level void things, Lu Chenju was now more confident in dealing with them. If he were struck by that same human-headed void thing again, it likely wouldn't leave behind any residual yin chill in his body. The following day, during the Heavenly Pile class, Lu Chenju found Yu Zheng. "Teacher, I have opened the leak acupoint." Yu Zheng looked as usual. This was the only time since he started teaching Lu Chenju the Heavenly Pile class that it took the boy more than a month to open an acupoint. It seemed that even someone as strong as Lu Chenju had reached his limit. Indeed, everyone has their limits. Yu Zheng stretched his limbs and smiled, saying, "Then I will teach you the pile skill for the Haoxi acupoint. This is one of the 8 meridian meeting points. Once opened, it can clear the heart and calm the spirit, improving the sensitivities of hearing and sight. Clearing the heart and calming the spirit goes without saying. It is essential for martial arts cultivation. Improving hearing and sight also greatly benefits combat." After mastering this pile skill, Lu Chenju began to practice on his own. After testing, it was determined that a 1% progression required an hour and 40 minutes of practice. 5 hours of pile practice a day would only open up 90% in a month. Lu Chenju adjusted his mindset. There was no help for it, he had to practice normally. Yu Zheng told him that the speed of his acupoint opening even surpassed that of many students in the genius class, and the teacher advised him not to push himself too hard. He was fast enough already. Chapter 98, 88 Bloodhead Bodhisattva. Su District. Beautiful Life Cosmetic Surgery Hospital. A young male doctor wearing gold-rimmed glasses, looking refined and handsome in a white lab coat, was checking a female patient's technologically crafted prosthetic breast. The female patient shyly said, "Dr. Chen, are we all done?" Dr. Chen withdrew his hand, standing with his hands in his pockets. "It looks like the surgery was very successful." "That's wonderful, thank you so much, Dr. Chen." "You're welcome, just doing my job." Dr. Chen took off his mask, revealing a sunny and charming scholarly smile. "Madam, I can see into your heart, and your spirit is truly beautiful." "Really? More beautiful than the face you've spent millions on." "Stop it. I'm not lying to you, your heart possesses the most beautiful visage in the world." The female patient felt as if she were floating on air, and in a daze, her thoughts traversed mountains and rivers through ages, until she finally envisioned the ultimate visage she sought. This visage belonged to a god. It was breathtakingly beautiful, dreamlike and surreal, with a solemn yet seductive countenance. The deity sat smiling by the edge of a rainbow pond that seemed like a scene from paradise, surrounded by 7 naked beauties, as beautiful as heavenly immortals, coquettishly lying at the deity's feet, softly chanting an ancient tongue. "Forget sorrow, mother, the homeland of bliss." "Goodbye, Dr. Chen." "Goodbye, madam. Have faith in your beauty, treat it as a belief, and you will receive a miraculous spiritual power. Enjoy the beauty." The female patient left happily. Dr. Chen was left alone in his office. He murmured to himself, as if chanting some mysterious spell, and then his hand began to virtualize, and he violently thrust it into his right chest. His expression showed no sign of pain, as if this were an everyday occurrence. He drew out a lifelike beauty's head. The female face was exquisitely beautiful, eyes tightly closed with mysterious runes flashing on the surface, like some bizarre and malevolent artifact. A voice emanated from the beauty's head. "Squad Leader Chen, have you exposed yourself recently?" "I have not. But I've come across reports of suspected meddling by our organization's void things." "I'm aware, but I'm certain I haven't exposed us. It's all because the bloodhead bodhisattva embryo that's incubating went out of control and was exterminated by someone." "You've been careless." "What does catching a void thing have to do with Chen Yanjing, a gold medal doctor?" "Better safe than sorry." "Don't worry, I'm well hidden." In the lobby of the cosmetic surgery hospital, Chen Zhen, dressed in casual clothes and wearing sunglasses, watched the beauty who came out of Dr. Chen's office, muttering to himself in annoyance. "Why do all these cosmetic surgeries end up looking so similar? Can't they find more templates? This isn't a cosmetic surgery hospital, it's clearly a cloning base." He followed her discreetly. "Excuse me, miss, can I have a word with you?" October 10th Training Ground. 2 figures stood steadily on wooden posts, their presences clashing. One had hands pressed together, softly glowing with golden light, while the other assumed the opening stance of swallow return fist. It was none other than Wang Gang and Lu Chenju. The two not only sparred and cross-trained but also occasionally competed in martial arts. Wang Gang specialized in the returning peak fist. Inside Galaxy Martial University, 100 schools contended, and no one form such as elephant form fist dominated. 8 trigrams, Tai Kai, Wuding, Shaolin, Yang Chun, everything was available. Returning peak fist, originated from the 8 trigram school. This fist style involved broad and powerful movements, with continuous and flowing fist moves, like overlapping mountain ranges. I'm at the 6th rank in cultivation. Chenju, be careful. Wang Gang bellowed and charged toward the wooden stake with great strides, moving like a mountain, shifting across the earth. Bring it on! Lu Chenju was now at the peak of the 5th rank, just waiting to break through with the Tiger Supreme Fist and step into the 6th rank. Facing Wang Gang, he used the Flying Swallow Sea Sweeping routine. Bang, bang, bang. In just 1 second, Wang Gang threw 10 punches left and right, one move following another without pause, like the 10-mile gallery of Mount Laojian, dark willows and bright flowers leading to another summit. Returning peak 10 forms Laojian's painting screen. Lu Chenju moved skillfully, his footsteps sidestepping 3 spaces on the wooden stake, then using snake form body technique to circle to Wang Gang's side, each step solid and grounded, like a tiger digging its claws into the earth. Not bad footwork, let's see how long you can last. Wang Gang laughed heartily and suddenly sped up. Mountains return and roads twist. He predicted Lu Chenju's movement, cutting off his landing spot in advance. Sweeping his right leg, enhanced by the iron leg skill, this one kick could break an oil-soaked wooden stake. Lu Chenju, like a flying swallow suspended in the air, managed to stall his fall for a moment by bracing his arms against Wang Gang's right leg and using it to leap up, flipping to his back. Flying swallow returning. Bang! A fierce straight punch hit Wang Gang in the back, nearly causing him to fall off the wooden stake. He slapped the column with one hand, bouncing back up. Then came Lu Chenju's storm-like black tiger killing fist. Routines were not fixed. One had to adjust to the situation and switch fluidly, provided both routines were well practiced. Good body technique. You've mastered both swallow form and tiger form. Wang Gang took a deep breath, his palm gleaming with golden light as he struck towards Lu Chenju. I'm using the Vajra palm now. A visible arc of golden light flashed, a residual image formed by the ultra-fast punch. Lu Chenju's fist had just met it when he felt like he'd been struck by a heavy hammer. Wang Gang's chi blood was robust, and his cross-training was at a small success level. Lu Chenju was at a disadvantage in sheer strength. Bang! Lu Chenju quickly retreated, taking advantage of the momentum as Wang Gang spun like an excavator, impossible to approach within a 3-foot radius without using evasive techniques. Their sparring session went on for quite a while, attracting many fellow trainees to gather around. Chenju can actually exchange blows with Wang Gang. His body technique is too clever. Wang Gang is unbeatable head-on, but he can't even touch Lu Chenju. But wait, isn't that swallow form fist? Not tiger form fist. Instructor who taught swallow form fist praised. Chenju's swallow form body technique seems to have reached great success. A swallow form genius indeed. Hong Fu quickly interjected. What's swallow form genius? Clearly, he's a tiger form genius. Chenju perfected the black tiger fist long ago, that's the proof. Mr. Li, don't steal my student. The teachers chatted and joked among themselves. Eventually, Lu Chenju, unable to match the endurance of 6th rank, jumped off the wooden stake and admitted defeat after half an hour of gripping fight. Wang Gang was also gasping for breath. He said in a heavy voice, "You've improved too fast. Just last month, Lu Chenju could only withstand a few hundred moves under his hand. Let's spar again when I reach 6th rank. We'll continue cross-training." Wang Gang said, "By the way, I found a teacher for iron crotch skill from our Galaxy Marshall University graduates. His skill is at great success, so he's more than capable of teaching us." Lu Chenju asked, "How much is the fee? I'll transfer it to you." "It's not much money, don't worry about it." "No, let's split it." "Hey, how about this? Wait until I've practiced a bit more before I teach you. Aren't you focusing on sprinting to 6th rank right now? You probably won't have time to learn new hard Qigong either." "That works." Wang Gang knew Lu Chenju's financial situation was average and tried every way to help him save money. After all, even the external application of medicine for hard Qigong cost a lot each month. He didn't want to lose the cross-training partner he'd finally found because of money issues. Chapter 99, 89 Stone Buddha Arhat. October 16 morning. Ding 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 tilde after class. Lu Chenju was still reviewing his notes from the nutrition class at his desk. Dietary planning is very important for martial arts cultivation. As the saying goes, 70% practice, 30% diet. Now, with a professional canteen at school to feed them, once they step into society, or when alone outside, one will need to prepare one's own reasonable diet. Wealthy martial artists always use various precious herbs for dietary supplements, making cultivation twice as effective with half the effort. Chenju, someone is looking for you. Huo Tianyu walked in with a grin. Who? Go and see for yourself. She returned to her seat, and Yuan Zhiging and others had a watchful look of anticipation. When Lu Chenju came out, he found Wang Keiying standing at the doorway. He looked around. There was no one else. You're looking for me? Yes, I want to have another match with you. Have you reached the 6th rank? Yes. Then no match, I'm only 5th rank. Thinking of his safety, Lu Chenju decisively refused. Honestly, he was still frightened by the memory of her underhanded kick. Wang Keiying laughed. No worries, I won't use my full strength. Why are you so keen on challenging me? You are low-class root bone and I am too. That's fair, right? Let's wait until I reach 6th rank. Lu Chenju wanted to go back to taking notes, hoping to send her away. Okay, then I'll wait for you to reach 6th rank. Wang Keiying was pleased. She could finally redeem her earlier humiliation. Scolded by Wang Jidao, she will give her all in the next fight against Lu Chenju and must win. She has a strong desire to win. In all her spars, even though she knew she was outmatched and being dominated, she would never give up. Lu Chenju was different. If he couldn't win, he couldn't win. Admitting defeat was not shameful. Safety first. The body is the capital for chasing martial arts. After dinner at the training field, people were practicing heavenly pile, practicing punches. Lu Chenju and Wang Gang were doing intense cross-training, their passionate sparring almost becoming an urban legend of Dragon City. Just then an excited voice came. Haha, I'm 7th rank now. Liu Huan finished a set of punches and jumped 3 feet high. He ran to the Qi blood measurement room. Qi blood value 3.63. Congratulations, you have reached the standards of 7th rank. Liu Huan, holding his fists, was almost crazily excited. Though he seemed as unaffected as Fan Jin during the lifting of the ban, only he could understand his feelings. Like Wang Keiying, he reached 6th rank just upon entering high school, but then was stuck before breaking through to the 7th rank for over a year. After 7th rank, each step becomes increasingly difficult. Now, his goal is to reach 9th rank before he turns 20 so that he hopefully can break 2nd shackles by 25 and become a martial artist. Liu Huan, you're 7th rank now. Other 6th rank students gathered around. Haha, yes. Congratulations. Awesome, when will I reach 7th rank? Everyone felt envious. Wen Tianj said, you should have a chance to be rated Class A this winter exam. I don't know, I'll strive for it, come on, I'm treating tonight. Liu Huan arrived at the training field, full of triumph. Chenju, I'm 7th rank now. Are you coming to the dinner tonight? Lu Chenju sincerely congratulated. That's great, I'll pass, enjoy your meal. He was about to break through in the Arhat skill and wanted to train with Wang Gang for some extra time tonight. He had no time for entertainment. Liu Huan and others left, laughing. At 9 in the evening, Liu Huan and his group had finished their meal and returned. At the training field, Lu Chenju and Wang Gang were still training. These two are really hardworking. Yeah, is hard Qigong that addictive? I've tried it, it's damn painful, almost like heavenly pile. That's indeed very painful. Everyone truly admired the willpower of these two. Seeing Lu Chenju still working so hard even after being rated Class A, Liu Huan's joy from his recent breakthrough also faded. He had originally planned to take a day off to relax in the evening. Continue training. Unbeknownst to themselves, under the subtle influence of Lu Chenju, the vaunted overachiever, their class's diligence had already far surpassed that of other classes. At 10 p.m., Wang Gang put away his Vajra palm. Looking at Lu Chenju's upper body, which emitted a faint dark blue sheen, he expressed 3 parts suspicion and 7 parts disbelief. Chenju, I feel like your Arhat skill might have achieved a breakthrough. When I broke through with my Vajra palm, a sheen also emerged faintly on my body. So that's how it is, thank you, Brother Wang. Lu Chenju was well aware of it. He stopped circulating his qi and looked at the martial arts tree. Arhat skill, proficient 100%, right arrow mastery 1%. Wang Gang said, generally speaking, once hard Qigong reaches the mastery realm, Relying on the cross-strained membrane on their skin and the powerful physique of a fifth-rank martial artist, ordinary people's punches and kicks no longer have any killing power on us. Even dozens of unarmed ordinary people would be easily knocked down one by one. Even if ordinary people wield sharp blades, unless they focus all their strength on thrusting and slashing, the injuries caused are minor. Moreover, with our skills, unless surrounded and attacked by more than a dozen people simultaneously, they can't even touch a hair on us. Lu Chenju rubbed his abdominal muscles. It felt like touching stone. Wang Gang asked, "Did you really only learn the Arhat skill for 4 months?" Lu Chenju nodded. He had initially tried it on a whim, as everyone said hard Qigong was very difficult. But with the martial arts tree, it seemed to be just so-so. Wang Gang couldn't help but swear. "You're ing a natural genius at cross-training." It took him a year and a half to master Vajra Palm and 2.5 years to reach small success. He even used the very expensive $10,000 per box gold and jade ointment. Comparing oneself to others can be infuriating. Perhaps I indeed have some talent for cross-training. Lu Chenju was not being modest. He looked at Wang Gang's pale gold palms and asked, "By the way, why is yours a golden light and mine a blue light?" The disheartened Wang Gang joked, "I'm a noble pay-to-win player. The golden jade ointment on the surface accumulates medicinal properties, forming a golden film. Your black jade ointment is black. As for the light blue color, it's the mysterious power nurtured within the acupoints after mastering Arhat skill." Okay then. Lu Chenju was relieved. As the combat intensity increased, the effectiveness of the $2,100 per box Black Jade number 1 was indeed lacking, so he planned to switch to the $5,000 per box Black Jade number 2 after running out. Back at the dormitory, Lu Chenju called old Jai, his teacher. "Teacher, I've mastered the Arhat skill." Clearly startled, Jai Chuantong on the other end of the phone asked after a moment, "Is there a blue film on your body?" "Yes, but it's a dark blue." "That's not important. The black is from the externally applied medicine." After a long silence on the phone, Jai Chuantong said thoughtfully, "Chenju, your current realm of Arhat skill has now surpassed mine. The mastery realm of Arhat skill was once called Stone Buddha Arhat." Stone Buddha Arhat. After mastering the Arhat skill, the body emanates a blue light, similar in appearance to a blue stone. Ordinary attacks landing on the body are as trivial as striking a stone Buddha, known as the Stone Buddha Arhat realm. I see. Teacher, what changes will there be after achieving small success with the Arhat skill? Hard Qigong is easy to enter but hard to master deeply. It took you 4 months to master it, but I fear it will take almost half a year to achieve small success. The realm of small success is also called Iron Buddha Arhat, followed by great success which is Copper Buddha Arhat, and perfection is Golden Buddha Arhat. At the supreme realm, the body is like Vajra, impervious to swords and spears, as if the dragon subduing Arhat is alive. At this time, you can smoothly transition to the cultivation of the 18 Arhat's golden body skill, which is considered top-notch among first-rate hard Qigong. Teacher, if golden body skill is perfected, what effects can be achieved? Lu Chenju couldn't help but ask, his aspirations stirred. Jai Chuantong's thoughts returned to college and said, "Among the people I know, besides Evil Tiger, there's only one who perfected the golden body skill, and he's now the Dragon Form Fist instructor at Dragon City Martial Arts University, the Breakthrough Second Shackles Iron Pine Dragon Chenju, who later mastered it as a martial artist. Once successful, very few in the same realm can break his defense. As a martial artist, he was able to actively resist large-caliber sniper rifles with his innate strength, a sight I particularly remember. Ordinary martial artists, even with the aid of power, can barely defend against standard sniper rifles, and to actively resist large-caliber sniper rifles requires the use of breakthrough second shackles, innate true chi. Iron Pine Dragon Chenju." Lu Chenju memorized this person in his mind. Jai Chuantong asked, "Chenju, do you think it's possible to reach 6th rank before the exchange competition?" "No problem. On the day of the competition, I'll come to pick you up. As long as you're at the 6th rank, there's no need to painstakingly study each opponent's tactic. Coupled with your Stone Buddha Arhat body, you'll sweep them all aside. While there's a sense of achievement in winning against stronger opponents, dimensionally crushing and defeating all peers is indeed the most exhilarating." Old Jai was spirited, his tone somewhat excited. Watching Lu Chenju rise felt like reading an exhilarating novel. He eagerly anticipated what realm Lu Chenju would reach in the future. Chapter 190 Breakthrough 5th enters 6th. Thank you, teacher. Lu Chenju hung up the phone and looked at the martial arts tree. Tiger Supreme Fist, Mastery 99%. The Tiger Supreme Fist was on the verge of a breakthrough, which was the foundation of his confidence at the 6th rank. Time to sleep. Tomorrow I'll test it out at Tiger Garden. He took out the treasured Bright God #1 medicine. He was confident he could break through this month, but to be safer and strive to be stronger before the exchange competition, it was time to take the medicine. Mainly because if he waited any longer, it would expire. Reality isn't a novel. There's no such thing as exploring ancient ruins and finding millennia-old medicines that are still usable. All medicines have an effective time limit. October 17th, a day off. Tiger Garden. Lu Chenju drank the Bright God medicine and only felt a surge of energy rush straight to his crown. Lu Chenju exhaled a breath of stale air and immediately got into position to practice his punches. Bang! With a punch, the air exploded, and without pausing, he continued the sequence of moves, transforming into a ferocious tiger whose strikes made the void of the Tiger Garden crackle and snap. Wherever he passed, the autumn wind swept away the fallen leaves, and not a speck of dust touched his body. After 2 rounds, Lu Chenju felt distinctly different. His thoughts were crystal clear, and it seemed as if hundreds of little men were practicing the fist technique before his eyes. The efficiency has increased. The Bright God medicine really has something special. Lu Chenju couldn't afford to waste the medicine worth 100,000. Time passed. Lu Chenju became more engrossed, no longer caring about whether the martial arts tree would bring him a moment of inspiration. He just kept practicing his punches, confident he would achieve the state he needed. Medicinal effect was continuous. Lu Chenju, without realizing it, had been practicing for 4 hours straight, feeling exhilarated until a sense of clarity swept through his body, as if puncturing a layer of paper. Lu Chenju couldn't help but let out a long howl. Inside the acupoints he had opened, a mysterious power nourished every cell in his body, strengthening his physique once more. His bones hummed like a sword, and his internal organs rumbled like engines. I should be at the 6th rank now. Lu Chenju extended his tiger claw and dark force erupted, piercing the strange pine tree where he practiced. The bark shattered, and he forcibly gouged several holes in the trunk. If this were to grip a person. Lu Chenju repressed the ferocity of the tiger form and lay down to rest. He looked at Tiger Brother, who also looked back at him. It's been great, but I'm about to leave. Lu Chenju felt a bit reluctant to part with Tiger Brother. Roar! Tiger Brother let out a low growl. You can go now, Tiger Master. Learning my roar every day here, annoying to death. Lu Chenju rested for an hour on the earth and sky, his strength almost fully recovered. He felt some remaining medicinal effect, and thinking of the 100,000 price tag, couldn't resist practicing Swallow Return Fist, his auxiliary fist technique, which was not far from great success. Secondary martial arts only offered him a minor increase in chi blood value. Lu Chenju primarily needed Swallow form to complement Tiger form, and incidentally to refine a new divine seed. After several rounds, Lu Chenju felt his Swallow Return Fist was exceptionally on point today. When he looked at the martial arts tree, his gaze sharpened. The leaves of Swallow Return Fist glimmered. Did inspiration strike unexpectedly? For a long time, Lu Chenju's moments of inspiration had always been with Tiger Form Fist. He felt it might be because his personality resembled that of a tiger. He hadn't held out much hope for Swallow form. He was overjoyed, his fatigue swept away. Swallow Return Fist, small success 94%, right arrow small success 95%. Swallow Return Fist, great success 2%, right arrow great success 3%. Alert after alert kept popping up. The Swallow Return Fist smoothly breached the barrier and achieved great success today. Lu Chenju bent his legs slightly, and the agile strength in his muscles and bones suddenly exploded and rebounded. Without needing a run-up or a major bend in the legs, he easily jumped 2 meters high. He laughed heartily and took advantage of the momentum to display his already great success level sea-sweeping body, shooting up like a home swallow into the sky, leaping onto the odd pine, and flitting and sweeping through the branches, as if even a long-armed ape would look inferior and be forced to exclaim in terror. The same dark force, but tiger form dark force and swallow form dark force were distinctly different. one overpoweringly forceful, easily igniting and exploding, the other agile and light, floating almost like a fairy bird. After the excitement subsided, Lu Chenju landed on the ground. I'm not just an ordinary tiger now, I'm a swallow-winged tiger. Swallow form combined with tiger form, as if adding wings to a tiger should be not much inferior to crane forms. Tiger-swallow dual forms had great potential. Lu Chenju looked toward the sun. Before he knew it, he had been practicing punches from dawn until afternoon. Now, the medicine was nearly drained and his stomach began to growl. Time to eat and then get some good rest. Breaking through in 2-fist techniques today, I've more than completed my assignment. Tonight, I'll just practice heavenly pile cultivation and no more punches. Lu Chenju decided to reward himself with a day off. Measurement room. After eating, an energetic Lu Chenju finished practicing basic boxing. Chi blood value 3.18. Congratulations, you have reached the 6th rank standard. The pleasant voice entered Lu Chenju's mind, and he let out a long sigh of relief. 6th rank, awesome. The Chi blood standard for the 6th rank was 2.98, and Lu Chenju had already exceeded it. At this point in his training, he had reached the late stage of the Dark Force realm. What came next was to continue polishing his fist technique until he grasped the most important martial arts skill before breaking free from shackles, Hua realm. The standard for 7th rank was 3.58. Once Tiger Supreme Fist reached great success, naturally he would achieve it. Lu Chenju walked out of the training room feeling as if the sky was high and the sea was vast. After a moment of thought, he headed towards Yu Zheng's office. What, you've reached 6th rank already? Yu Zheng, who had just finished heavenly pile cultivation, showed a surprised expression. He thought that Lu Chenju might reach 6th rank only before the winter exams. It took him 3 months to reach 5th rank after all. This speed was somewhat terrifying. Lu Chenju's eyes sparkled with anticipation as he asked, "Teacher, there's no problem with me getting Class A in the winter exams, right?" Yu Zheng smiled and said, "That's definitely stable." Suddenly he asked, "Chenju, have you reached great success with Tiger Supreme Fist?" Usually one could only hope to reach 6th rank Chi blood with Tiger Supreme Fist at great success. No, just small success. Yu Zheng suddenly realized. Then it must be a breakthrough in the fist technique you've been cross-training. Yes, my swallow return fist has also reached great success. Arhat skill has just been mastered yesterday, and there are 2 movement techniques at great success level, so I've broken through to 6th rank earlier. Yu Zheng only knew Lu Chenju practiced a variety of martial arts, but he did not expect that, while maintaining a pace of 1 acupoint a month, the young man had also brought his cross-training martial arts to great success. He couldn't even imagine the effort behind it, and the boy's talent was certainly not simple. Among class of martial arts talents, he was superior. Once he reached university, he would have the potential to compete for the even higher special martial arts talents. Wait, you've mastered Arhat skill as well. Yu Zheng suddenly came to his senses, revealing a slightly shocked expression. He lifted Lu Chenju's shirt, exposing muscles emitting a faint dark cyan sheen, like that of an Arhat statue. Yu Zheng reached out and gently tapped. Thud, thud, thud. The sound was dull, as if striking greenstone. The body contains a cyan glow, the color like greenstone. Indeed, it is stone Buddha Arhat body. Yu Zheng murmured to himself. He clearly remembered that Lu Chenju started learning hard Qigong in June. In just 4 months, he mastered a 2nd-class hard Qigong to the point of disbelief. This was a cross-training prodigy. Class A talent was just his starting point. He collected himself, stood up, and patted Lu Chenju on the shoulder, congratulating him. Enjoy your last few months of high school. Once the winter exams are over, you'll have to say goodbye to your classmates and skip ahead to Dragon City Martial Arts University. A smile of uncontrollable joy appeared on Lu Chenju's face. All right, thank you, teacher. University, here I come, Lu Chenju. Dormitory. Lu Chenju shared the news of reaching 6th rank with his master and parents, but no one else for the time being. Times have changed, and he was now considered a martial arts genius, a thorn in the side of some antisocial elements. He needed to showcase his talent to the school and authorities as much as possible. Against the malice of criminal forces, he had to learn to hide his skill to catch them by surprise and beat them with an unexpected move. Over the phone, Jai Chuantong did not hide his laughter. It's stable, who else but you for the 100 school tournament? That's an overstatement, teacher. I'll aim for the top 3. Lu Chenju was still very conservative. Jai Chuantong knew his character was just so steady and humble. He laughed and said, "Top 3 is good, your bonus is ready." "Thank you, master." Lu Chenju wasn't being pretentious. To him, Jai Chuantong was family, a foster father. Chapter 101, 91. There is no superiority in boxing skills. Time passed. Lu Chenju was actively preparing for the competition and diligently practicing his martial arts. Buds had sprouted beneath the leaves of the martial arts tree. He was halfway to perfection, and by the end of the year, he would be able to condense the third divine seed. Everything was getting better. Soon it was November 10. Tomorrow would be the first day of the 100 Schools tournament, which lasted a week. The youth division for the first 2 days, followed by the adolescents, adults, and seniors. Only the champion of the youth division would qualify for the quest of the 9th form. This was the main event and drew the most attention because they had the potential to become martial artists. The adults and seniors were just extras. Before dawn in Tiger Garden. After drinking the last vial of Bright God potion, Lu Chenju invigoratedly practiced fist techniques for 2 hours, increasing his proficiency in the Tiger Supreme Fist slightly. Lu Chenju then checked his Qi blood level, which had reached 3.21. He was determined to win tomorrow's competition. On the way to the cafeteria, Lu Chenju passed by the training field. He saw students from the first-year class freely practicing. "It's Senior Chenju. Wasn't he the one who defeated our class leader recently?" Hearing everyone talking, Wang Keiying, who was painfully practicing the heavenly pile, couldn't sit still. She finished her heavenly pile, flexed her muscles, and hesitantly caught up with Lu Chenju. Senior, when will we have a chance to spar?" Lu Chenju thought about it and said, smiling, "Why not today instead of picking another day?" He had been at the 6th rank for almost half a month now, and even his classmates didn't know he had made a breakthrough. He didn't want to leak his cultivation level to his competitors before the match, so these days he had refrained from sparring. Since the competition was tomorrow, it didn't matter anymore. Besides, he was itching to test his strength. Wang Keiying would be perfect. If he could defeat her, winning the championship shouldn't be a problem. Wang Keiying, full of spirit, saluted with her fists and said, "Senior, be careful. My Black Dragon 18 hands has reached small success." Lu Chenju smiled slightly and gestured with his hand. "Come on." Tap, tap, tap. Wang Keiying rushed in. She took the initiative to attack, but she was much more conservative than before. After a few feints, she quickly pulled back, not daring to get too close to Lu Chenju. "Interesting, she's become wiser. Too bad I'm at the 6th rank." Lu Chenju, like a home swallow flying low on a rainy day, leaned forward in an arrow step and became a blur, crossing a distance of 10 feet in a single breath. His 4 fingers joined together like a bird's beak. Then he continuously stabbed forward with both hands, each strike aimed directly at Wang Keiying's throat and other vital areas. Swallow returned 14 forms, neighboring Swallow Double Flying Peck. Wang Keiying cried out in shock, hurriedly changing her moves to counter Lu Chenju's ferocious new attack pattern. The sharp pecking strikes hit her joint weaknesses in an instant. There was once a martial arts called clothes sticking 18 falls, which targeted only the joints. "Senior, which fist technique are you using? It's not the tiger form fist, right?" Wang Keiying's rhythm was disrupted, and her face turned red. "I cultivate both the tiger and swallow styles." Lu Chenju didn't stop his attacks, increasing his strength. The great success level C sweeping technique actually overwhelmed Wang Keiying, who used first-class martial arts. Lu Chenju realized, real combat must adapt to the situation. One must not be confined to martial levels. In different environments against different enemies, one must be flexible. It is said that some powerful martial artists are not bound by any specific set of martial arts techniques. Every movement is the most powerful strike in accordance with nature and combat instincts, the state of freedom, extreme intent. Wang Keiying barely adapted to Lu Chenju's C sweeping technique, but in the next second, Lu Chenju smoothly changed to the tough and unbeatable Black Tiger crossing the mountain technique. Bang, bang, bang. Lu Chenju's fist technique, sometimes fierce, sometimes agile, resulted in what appeared to be a clever victory in a punch, but was actually infused with the immense power of breaking stone. He didn't even need to use hard qigong to corner Wang Keiying. Stubborn as she was, clearly struggling, she refused to admit defeat, putting up a desperate resistance. So Lu Chenju showed no mercy in his strikes. Wang Keiying found an opportunity, repeated her old trick, and wrapped around Lu Chenju from behind, hugging his waist while her knee aimed a direct strike at his groin. Here it comes again, you should get down. Lu Chenju's right foot performed a shock step. He twisted to the side, and, with a downward left arm blocking the knee, he used leverage to fling Wang Keiying away while simultaneously bursting forth with a palm strike to her abdomen. Bang! That was harsh. Apart from not using dark force, Lu Chenju exerted 70% of his strength. Wang Keiying cried out in pain and was thrown to the ground below. She clutched her stomach, struggled for a moment, then sat up, her face red with pain, sweat streaming down. Class president, are you all right? The other students hurried to help her, but Wang Keiying pushed them away. I'm fine, I'll go back myself. She looked at Lu Chenju on the platform, his expression unchanging. She could say nothing when her skills were inferior. With her bruised hand, Wang Keiying bowed with clasped fists. Senior brother, it seems you've also reached 6th rank. I'll come to challenge you again when I have the chance. Despite repeatedly losing, she was quite resilient. Lu Chenju didn't say much, but thought to himself. It seems I still wasn't harsh enough. But this was just a spar and she is the descendant of Master Wang, so I had to save her some face. He had defeated a dragon form fist expert of the same cultivation level twice. Lu Chenju had thus dispelled any biases about the dragon form. In fists there is no superior or inferior, power lies within the person. What, Lu Chenju reached 6th rank? Wasn't he just 5th rank during the summer exams? Damn, that was too quick. That day, the news of Lu Chenju advancing to 6th rank caused a sensation in the second-year class. Liu Huan and others looked at Lu Chenju as if he were a freak. Is this guy even human? It had only been a few months since he entered 5th rank, and now he's broken through to the 6th. Everyone knew that Lu Chenju's rank in the winter exams was secure, and it wouldn't be long before this transfer student would skip a grade to university. Without the king of the class, they felt strangely unwilling to let him go. Lu Chenju was in high spirits and treated everyone to a good meal. At the summit of Fangshan, Master Wang looked at his great-granddaughter, whose face was clouded with unhappiness. Why are you here again? I still couldn't defeat Lu Chenju. Master Wang fell silent, then asked after a moment. Isn't that normal? Now the silence shifted to Wang Keiying. Great-grandfather, do you really think I'm inferior to Lu Chenju? Master Wang, usually blunt and straightforward, wanted to say, nonsense, how can you compare with Lu Chenju? He's a martial bone Taoist, suspected to have awakened after just 1 year with 6th rank and is now a key focus of Dragon City Martial Arts University. But his heart softened. He said earnestly, Wang Keiying, there are always higher heavens and stronger people. Let me be honest with you, don't even mention higher root bones. Even among the lower root bones, there are extraordinary individuals all over the world. You've grown up in a family and your perspective is limited. Clan power is significant, but compared to the vast world, what is it? The era of commoners practicing martial arts has ended the glory of noble families. I sent you to Fangshan to practice martial arts, and you should have felt it by now. Just in the small high school of Dragon City, it's full of hidden dragons and crouching tigers. There are 24 martial arts schools here, and these over 2,000 people are the cream of the crop from Sioux City. Dazia has so much more. Wang Keiying seemed to realize something and asked, how can I defeat Lu Chenju? Master Wang sighed deeply. Why are you so fixated on that boy? There are so many young talents in Dragon City High School that you could spar with to regain your confidence. You're not fated enemies. I think you've been reading too many novels. Go back to class. Okay. Wang Keiying descended the mountain. Master Wang muttered to himself, thinking it was right to let the young girl experience the world. Without going through some tough fights, she might still think she was a protagonist among those with lower root bones. Talents emerge in every generation and each leads for hundreds of years. Where in this world is there a true child of destiny? Didn't those old predecessors from the 24 schools each play a leading role in their times? Now, they've stepped aside to make way for the Kangshan Dragon King, retreating to secondary roles. Chapter 102, 9200 Restaurants Battle. Yu Zheng's office. Teacher, I'd like to take a day off tomorrow. Is it to participate in the Sioux City Martial Arts Academy exchange competition? Yes. Go ahead and be careful. Since Lu Chenju had enrolled, he had never taken a day off. Yu Zheng was still a bit worried and said, Should I ask a martial artist friend of mine to take you there? Lu Chenju laughed. Thanks, teacher. My true inheritor master will pick me up. Upon hearing this, Yu Zheng nodded and said, Jai Xuantong is a good mentor. Remember to be grateful in the future. It's not about how powerful a true inheritor master is. Rather, it's more important that they are serious and attentive towards you. Take your transfer to Dragon City High School, for example. Jai Xuantong made more than a dozen phone calls to Qingshan Kang and the previous seniors just on your behalf. Just be aware of that. Warmth spread in Lu Chenju's heart. Mentor Jai had never mentioned these things to him. His own swift transfer was greatly due to Mentor Jai's efforts. After leaving Yu Zheng's office, Hang Fu also called Lu Chenju over. You confident about the competition this time? With my 6th rank cultivation, I should be able to make the top 3. The tiger form fist is particularly good at using weakness to overcome strength, and you've mastered the tiger swallow dual forms, so you have a higher margin for error. As soon as you get on stage, start with the Arhat skill. Hang Fu imparted some tactical experience to Lu Chenju. Feeling the care of his teachers, Lu Chenju felt even more confident. At the cafeteria that evening, Liu Huan, Hu Tianyu, and others also came to see Lu Chenju off. Several from the post-20 grade were participating in the competition. Zhang Shushan, Liu Quanhai, and others were going. Someone with a low-class root bone and a 4th-rank cultivation even wanted to sign up to try their luck. After all, being in the top 10 meant winning a Wenda car, something even those from well-off families desired. Liu Quanhai joked, I'm just an extra, playing the role of a minor character to complement the genius that is Chenju. Zhang Shushan said, Same here. They were the elites of their respective martial arts academies. Having come to Dragon City High School with a low-class root bone, none of them were mediocre. It was just unfortunate for them that this version included Lu Chenju. Standing up, Liu Huan said in high spirits, It's amazing just to participate in the competition. I wish you all a triumphant return. Our 20th batch is the best. No, we should say that we from Dragon City are unbeatable. Chenju, fight with the might of Dragon City. The crowd was even more excited than Lu Chenju, the actual competitor. They too wanted to participate, to dominate the other contestants. After all, who in this world doesn't wish to be known underneath the heavens? All right, thanks everyone, let's down this bowl. Lu Chenju was rarely so impassioned, excitedly downing the bowl of medicinal bone soup in one gulp. The others followed suit, in a somewhat comical fashion. With the moon bright and stars scarce, the night owls cried out. After practicing Heavenly Pile, Lu Chenju lay on his bed, lost in thought. Although he had not spent even a year with these classmates, the thought of leaving them in winter still made him reluctant. The journey of martial arts, the stronger the warrior, the lonelier it is. November 11th, in the early morning. A black luxury car slowly stopped at the entrance of the Fangshan campus. Old Jai was dressed sharply today, even using hair gel, wearing sunglasses, confident and proud. The security guard asked, Who are you looking for? My disciple. Old Jai leaned against the car door, watching the figure approaching from a distance. Lu Chenju strode forward, already changed into the Flying Swallow sea-sweeping training clothes. He was to represent the Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall in the competition, as a martial artist known as Bright-Winged Swallow. Thank you, teacher. Jai Xuantong smiled and said, Good, you look sharp today, get in the car. Today, it wasn't just him coming to pick up a student. Other martial artists arrived in their cars as well, including a muscular, buzz-cut man. His arms were as thick as water buckets, quite exaggerated. Long time no see, Bright-Winged Swallow. Ba Heijing, are you also here to pick up a disciple? Is this your true inheritor? What's his name? Ba Heijing scrutinized Lu Chenju, his expression growing serious. Jai Xuantong played coy, confidently declaring, Wait till the competition ends and you'll know his name. Let's go. The black luxury car left the campus area, unstoppable. Technology Center District. Sioux City Stadium. With a capacity to accommodate 50,000 spectators, the martial arts competition, as the most popular competition of the modern era, was heavily promoted by the organizers. A full 20,000 viewers from across the country came to watch. That was a high turnout. A ticket cost 700 yuan and allowed for 7 consecutive days of live competition, which was a much better deal compared to some third-tier celebrities' concert tickets. Taoist science and technology, could also recoup some investment costs through this. Once Lu Chenju arrived at the venue, he was somewhat astounded. He hadn't expected such a huge audience, and his blood began to boil inside him. Jai Xuantong, smiling beside him, said, "It's normal to be nervous during your first competition like this. Just pretend the audience doesn't exist." Okay. He followed Jai Xuantong to the backstage area, completing a series of registration, sign-in, drug testing, and other tedious affairs. Drug testing for martial arts competitions was very strict. If a competitor was found to have taken explosive-type medications similar to stimulants, they faced a 10-year ban. The official competition started at 9 a.m. Lu Chenju learned that there were a total of 256 competitors in the youth division, with most of them around the third rank. Whether there were any sixth-rank competitors remained unknown. Many commercial competitions do not disclose the ranks of the competitors in advance, as it would remove the suspense and spectacle of the contest. After all, most of the time, winners are determined by rank. While waiting, Du and Shiruyu also arrived. Shiruyu had registered for the youth group, which would not begin until the third day. She was there to watch the two junior brothers' matches. Concerned for their safety, Lu Chenju didn't let his parents come. Watching the live broadcast at home was just as good. Shiruyu held up the flag of Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall. It read, "Flying Swallow Sea Sweeping, Unrestrained." With her attractive image and stature, she drew the attention of many onlookers, and she said gently with a smile, "Junior brothers, do your best." Du patted Lu Chenju on the shoulder, grinning. "I've just made it to the fourth rank, so I'm not expecting a high placement. It's mainly about experiencing the atmosphere of a big competition. Chenju, go for it. I think you've got first place in the bag." Du had been stuck at the third rank for a long time, getting into martial arts school for just under half a year and reaching the fourth rank. In this era, if one wanted to succeed, martial arts school was a necessary path. Lu Chenju replied steadily, "I can't claim first place for certain. It's unsure if there are other sixth-rank competitors." He looked at Shiruyu. "By the way, senior sister, what's your goal this time?" Shiruyu laughed. "The youth and middle-age groups have the fiercest competition. After all, one is for those under 35 years of age and the other for those under 60. These two age groups have amassed too many martial artists who have gradually reached the power transformation realm over time. There may even be some in the extreme limit realm. So I'm not expecting a ranking either. It would be great to make the top 10, but I don't mind if I don't." She was already a 7th rank at a young age, with much time ahead of her. Her participation in the competition was more about seeking a breakthrough opportunity against others. Not everyone was like Lu Chenju, who had the martial arts tree to gradually improve proficiency, and for whom a breakthrough was merely a matter of time. For most ordinary martial artists, encountering a roadblock meant searching for an opportunity to overcome it. Competing life-and-death battles, wandering far and wide. All these could be chances to try one's luck. Jai Xuantong comforted Shiruyu, saying, "You needn't be pessimistic. I've got some inside information. There are only a dozen or so above the 8th rank in the youth group this time, as long as you don't get matched with them. And even if you lose, there are resurrection matches. With a bit of luck, the top 10 is still possible." Dinglingaling tilde Jai Xuantong's video call rang. On the line was Jai Feiyan, who said with a smile, "Dad, I hope our martial arts academy will take first place. How are Chenju and Ru Yu? I want to say a few words to them." Seeing his daughter, Jai Xuantong felt satisfied, confident that, "Ha, this time our Flying Swallow Martial Arts Academy will surely become famous in Sioux City." He handed the phone to Shiruyu. Jai Feiyan clenched her fist. "Junior sister, give your best. Damn, I can't leave school, so I can't come back to Sioux City to watch your matches. I really want to be there. But the Sioux City branch of Dragon City Martial Arts University is setting up by the end of the year. I plan to apply to transfer there voluntarily. Heh, the three of us siblings will be able to meet soon. Happy about that." Shiruyu smiled sweetly. "Of course I'm happy, but won't the branch campus facilities be inferior to the main campus?" "Don't worry, the teaching staff at the branch can more than sufficiently take us to martial arts grandmaster level. The martial arts department takes the Sioux City branch very seriously and will allocate a significant budget. Word has it, the principal of the branch will be a powerhouse who has overcome the breakthrough fifth shackles. Consider this, when Dragon City has established branches in other major cities before, they used to just appoint a martial arts grandmaster as a token gesture. This time they're deploying a great grandmaster, which shows the country's level of commitment. Moreover, joining the epic-making project of North Martial South Adjustment is our duty. Aspiring young martial artists should take part in the construction of the era. Jifeian half-joked. Hearing this news, both Lu Chenju and Shiruyu felt reassured. They were likely to attend the branch school and had been worried the resources wouldn't match the main campus. Now, it seemed attending the branch was in line with the national policy and more conducive to growth. Shiruyu passed the phone to Lu Chenju. "Hello, senior sister. Little brother, it's all up to you now. Not going to lie, at first I wasn't very optimistic about you. I even advised Dad to be cautious about accepting you as his true inheritor. However, your performance over the past year has slapped me in the face. I can only describe you with 2 words: freaking awesome." Chapter 103, 93 One Punch Xiaolu. Jifeian was open and straightforward, speaking her mind about everything. Initially, she had indeed underestimated Lu Chenju, which was a fact. Lu Chenju also liked his senior sister's bold and straightforward character. He smiled and said, "Senior sister flatters me, I will work hard." After chatting with his senior sister, Lu Chenju closed his eyes to meditate and restore his energy. Jai Chuantong, just like a parent at a parent-teacher meeting, walked around the rest areas of the other martial arts halls with his hands behind his back, gathering the latest intelligence for Lu Chenju and the others. "Brother Lu, long time no see." Wang Chang from the Golden Lion Martial Arts Hall came over to greet him warmly. "Brother Wang, it looks like you've made a breakthrough to 4th rank. Congratulations," Lu Chenju said with a smile. Wang Chang quietly asked, "Brother Lu must be at 5th rank now, right?" After the exchange competition, he knew that Lu Chenju was from the Dragon City Martial Arts School and had achieved acquired enlightenment. With half a year gone by, his cultivation progress must have been faster than his own. Lu Chenju smiled slightly, which was taken as an affirmation. Wang Chang felt a massive shock inside. As expected, I knew he had reached 5th rank, truly unbelievable. Is this the world of martial arts school geniuses? At 9 o'clock, as the sponsor, the person in charge of the Sioux City branch of Daoist Science and Technology took the stage, spoke for a few minutes, and then announced the official start of the competition, not wasting many words. The style of the martial arts competition was just that efficient. The time of those who train in martial arts is incredibly precious. The format of the competition was still based on drawing lots to match opponents. The first round was from 256 to 128, progressively selecting the ultimate champion. The morning was for elimination matches, the afternoon for the losers' revival matches, and tomorrow for the finals. On the huge screen, the computer randomized the opponents. Lu Chenju's opponent was from the Tomorrow Martial Arts Hall, and according to Old Jai's information, this person was supposed to be at 3rd rank. The arena had 4 platforms for simultaneous combat, and all matches were projected onto the 3-dimensional surround screens so that the audience could choose which ones they were interested in. Before long, it was Lu Chenju's turn to go on stage. Tens of thousands of gazes focused on him. After briefly looking around, he directed his gaze at his opponent and bowed with his fists. Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall Lu Chenju, from the elephant form lineage. His opponent was a petite female warrior. Tomorrow Martial Arts Hall Ling Xiang, 8 trigrams palm. 8 trigrams was also a standalone system of inner boxing, but in today's age, it was not as widespread as elephant form fist. Elephant form had evolved over time from the original 8 forms and 12 forms to now over 100 forms, and it still had not reached its limit of potential. Of course, lineages like 8 trigrams and Tai Kai were still very strong, and perhaps a revolution in martial arts theory could catapult them ahead of elephant form. A rivalry between many schools was indeed best. "Please begin, madam, you first." Lu Chenju smiled slightly, confidently at ease. "Watch out." Ling Xiang moved in the 8 trigram step, her body like a swimming dragon, her hands following her agile movement technique. With a yell, her presence was indeed fierce, showing that women were not inferior to men. Bam! Lu Chenju easily dodged the attack, and then with a shake of his arm and body, Ling Xiang flew back like a kite with a broken string. After flipping a few times in the air, she landed and said with a trembling voice, "I admit defeat." "Thank you." Lu Chenju, unenthused about defeating a 3rd rank as a 6th rank, it gave him no sense of achievement. Let's congratulate Lu Chenju for entering into the top 128 with an overwhelming victory. The commentator shouted excitedly. The audience also cheered, creating wave after wave of noise. He's very strong, definitely a high-level 4th rank. A 4th rank could not achieve such ease. He must be a 5th rank. SSS, that certainly makes him a top contender for the championship. Lu Chenju returned to the resting area. Old Jai joked. You didn't even need to warm up, did you? Yes. Shiruyu and the students of the Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall waved their flags and shouted. Flying Swallow see flying unrestrained. Flying Swallow is number 1. Brother Lu invincible. The selection of the top 64 competition. Lu Chenju's opponent was a 4th rank player. His recent performance had already made an impression on the audience. The ordinary people in the spectator seats were discussing energetically. This guy probably can't win instantly this time, right? I heard the commentator say his opponent seems to have mastered the dark force, capable of shattering bluestone slabs with one palm. Amazing, it looks like a battle between dragons and tigers. On the stage, Lu Chenju introduced himself as usual. He invited his opponent to make the first move. That person, however, insisted Lu Chenju go first. Then I'll respectfully follow the offer. Lu Chenju crossed the stage like black lightning. He unleashed a punch with only 70% of his power, while his opponent tried to counter with stillness, attempting to grapple with Lu Chenju. Before even touching him, he felt a heavy punch to his chest, lifting him off the ground. With a swoosh, the 4th rank expert also flew out of the stage. Oh my God, another one-hit knockout. Lu Chenju is simply a Superman with his punches. No one has been able to withstand even one of his moves. He's too strong. The commentator shouted excitedly. The audience was equally thrilled, now utterly curious when Lu Chenju would use his second move. What level of cultivation does this young man have? Time passed. Selecting the top 32 competition. Lu Chenju was matched against another dark force opponent, and his reputation had begun to spread slightly in the arena, making him the top choice for the Demon King amongst the other competitors. No one could gauge the depth of his strength. This time, his opponent was 15 years old and said nervously, Iron Sword Martial Arts Hall, Zhang Lun, please instruct me. Lu Chenju bowed in a fist salute in return. Then he transformed into a black tiger, bursting forth with might. He leaped a dozen feet, and before Zhang Lun could even throw a punch, he felt the oppressive tiger evil chi as though it sought to devour him. Without a second thought, he shouted, I surrender. He simply couldn't withstand the pressure from Lu Chenju. Feeling that facing him in combat could only result in death or injury, his timid and cowardice personality made him yield without fighting. Lu Chenju's fist was only a foot away from Zhang Lun at the time. He pulled back as he wished, stopping inches as intended. Lu Chenju politely smiled with a fist salute. Then I thank you for yielding. Backstage in the resting area. The Iron Sword Hall Master looked at Jai Chuantong, who was smugly pleased next to him, his face ashen. He had thought this 4th rank seedling would at least make it into the top 32, but luck had it that his student encountered Lu Chenju, the Dark Horse Demon King, who was also Jai Chuantong's disciple. In earlier years, the two had some minor disagreements. Old pal, think about it this way, at least your disciple wasn't injured, which is also a good thing, Jai Chuantong said, arms crossed, arrogant like a seagull above the ocean. HMPH. The Iron Sword Hall Master didn't stay to watch the matches any longer and hurried away. Surrendering without a fight was indeed somewhat disgraceful. This was the first occurrence of such a scenario in the tournament. The commentator's voice spread throughout the venue. Lu Chenju has once again won in an instant, making him one of the hot favorites for this competition. Is there anyone who can make him strike a second punch? Over 3 matches, Lu Chenju dominated the field. After the top 32 ended, he glanced over the list. Wang Chang, Liu Qingyuandu, and Liu Quanhai were all eliminated. Some were just advanced to 4th rank, while others were still at the peak of 3rd rank. Among the familiar faces, Ricken, Zhang Shushan, and the like had smoothly advanced, and he also noticed a special competitor. Wang He. This person was the son of Wang Jian, the master of Zih Martial Arts Hall, a year older than himself, from a high school class in Magic City, with a cultivation level above 5th rank, having won the previous 3 matches with ease. Chapter 104, 94 Lifelong Enemy. Lu Chenju had investigated, and the boss of his father's company, Wang Kang, was indeed the younger brother of Wang Jian. The arbitrators had already ruled that Wang Kang must pay the compensation for unlawfully terminating his employees' contracts within 6 months, but Wang Kang was still refusing to pay. Furthermore, he had filed a lawsuit in court to overturn the judgment, obviously stalling for time. He was fully aware that the company was bound to lose the case. On the other side, in the resting area of Zihe Martial Arts Hall, Wang Jian and Wang Kang were both there. Wang Kang was a portly middle-aged man. "Nephew, well done." "Thank you, uncle." Wang He looked at the list of the top 32. From the current fighting performances, there should be 12 fifth-rank martial artists in this competition. The one who left the deepest impression on him was Lu Chenju. This person might be at the peak of the 5th rank, otherwise it would be very difficult to instantly defeat a 4th rank, maybe even a 6th rank. Wang Jian said in a cold voice. "Wang He, pay special attention to that Lu Chenju. This person is suspected to be 6th rank and is a formidable opponent. However, with your peak 5th rank cultivation, coupled with our Wang family's first-class martial arts, spring and autumn palm, even a 6th rank would pose a fightable challenge." Wang He replied, "Father, I will do my utmost." Spring and autumn palm, like Yulong martial arts halls, Yulong palm, also belong to the 8 trigrams lineage. Its palm technique emphasized the unpredictable changes of the 4 seasons. Wang He had been practicing boxing with his martial artist father from a young age. In junior high, he was transferred to the junior high campus of Magic City Martial Arts University after an epiphany. He had been practicing spring and autumn palm for 5 years, and now he was very close to reaching the stage of small success, but was struggling to make the final breakthrough. Wang Jian sighed. "It's a pity. If you could achieve small success, you would surely be at the 6th rank. That Lu Chenju practices the 2nd-class Tiger Supreme Fist and is unlikely to be your match." Wang Kang, listening to the name Lu Chenju, always felt it sounded very familiar. Suddenly his expression turned incredulous. Wasn't this Lu Guoping's son? Old Lu often bragged about Lu Chenju in front of his colleagues. "Lu Guoping's son is so formidable," Wang Kang couldn't help but say. Wang Jian looked at his brother and asked with a frown, "Do you know this person?" Wang Kang then shared the details with him. Wang Jian's expression changed, and he suddenly scolded. "Lu Chenju is from Dragon City Martial Arts School. I advise you to settle Lu Guoping's unpaid wages early. Don't bring trouble to our Wang family." Wang Kang was dismissive. "What are you afraid of, brother? You're a martial artist. It's not even certain if he can get into university. What can I do? Just pay Lu Guoping. What about the others? The company truly couldn't continue operating. If I had the money, I would have paid it back long ago." Wang Jian rebuked. "You know nothing. With the cultivation of 5th rank, he can definitely get into Dragon City Martial Arts University. As long as he gets into the university, with this kid's talent, not to mention becoming a martial artist, becoming a 3rd rank is a sure thing. Is it worth offending a master over a few tens of thousands? In a rule of law society, what can he do to me? You're the one who is breaking the law. I am advising you to settle this matter. I know you still have money. Don't drag my martial arts hall down with you. The last people you want to offend in this world are students from a top martial university. I graduated from Pingjiang Martial Arts University. Don't I know this better than you?" Wang Jian was just a martial artist who graduated from Pingjiang Martial Arts University, and he knew a circle of martial artists and high-ranking officials in Sioux City. If one day Lu Chenju broke through his restraints, the martial arts circle he would form in Dragon City Martial Arts University would far surpass what he currently had. Who would dare to provoke such a person? Okay, I get it." Wang Kang chastised him with a dark face, regretted saying anything at all. If he had known, he would have kept quiet. "Old Lu is stubborn. I generously offered him 30,000 to settle this matter, yet he insisted on being difficult. Probably got his backbone from his son." At 11 in the morning, the competition for the top 32 to advance to the top 16 finally began. After this round, the 16 to move on to tomorrow's finals would be decided. The eliminated would compete in the resurrection matches in the afternoon, selecting 16 to advance to tomorrow's competition. In this way, those with some strength would be able to make it into the top 32. When the draw results came out, Lu Chenju paused slightly. Lu Chenju, Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall versus Ricken Giant Elephant Fighting Hall. Again with Ricken, he's got some tough luck. Inside, Lu Chenju couldn't help but mourn for him for a second. It turned out that the son of the giant elephant was his lifelong enemy. With his 6th rank cultivation, there was no suspense in this match. In the resting area, giant elephant Ricket's face darkened. Lu Chenju, why is it him again? He glanced with the corner of his eye towards Jai Chuantong on the side. Old Jai was grinning from ear to ear. Ha ha ha, fate, it's beyond words. Whether it was the master of the iron sword or Ricket, they were both people with whom old Jai had some minor issues in his wild youth. Now, having Lu Chenju, his true inheritance, sweeping through these old friends was inexplicably satisfying. It was like a nemesis being defeated. Delightful. Old Jai was drinking beer and humming a little tune. This battle would make Lu Chenju famous in Sioux City, and he too would bask in the reflected glory. On the stage, Ricken, nearly 2 meters tall, had an icy gaze. He wasn't stupid. Having seen Lu Chenju's performance in the morning, he knew that he started off as 5th rank and was not his match. But as the son of the giant elephant, he must lose gloriously. Thud, thud, thud. He stomped on the stage like an ancient mammoth resurrected, weighing over 250 pounds. With a roar, Ricken swung his large hand down in a chop. Not bad, he's got the spirit of the giant elephant. Lu Chenju didn't dodge or avoid, critiquing in his mind. To deal with Ricken, he had to defeat him head-on. He stepped forward with his left foot, and the shock step made the stage tremble. He connected his spinning body to a dazzling straight punch. Waves of force flowed through his right arm as his muscles rippled, eventually converging in his right hand. Boom! The two clashed with simple and direct punches, devoid of any frills. Lu Chenju lightly stepped right to dispel Ricken's giant elephant strength, then rooted his feet firmly on the stage, pulling back his right fist and calmly looking ahead. Ricken kept retreating until he stabilized perilously at the edge of the stage. He took a deep breath and laughed heartily. Lu Chenju, today I reckon I'm going to face off against 5th rank. As he stepped forward, intending to punch, he found his right arm unresponsive. It was as if an unimaginable force was relentlessly pulling at him, threatening to shatter his bones and tendons. Ricken stopped his steps, filled with reluctance. He looked up at the sky and sighed silently. This Lu Chenju, he must have been more than 5th rank. He was 6th rank. He too had realized dark force, but the gap between 4th rank and 6th rank was vast. After the black tiger dark strength wore down his giant elephant dark force, it still caused tons of damage. For the sake of his martial arts path, he said in pain, I lost. This is my 2nd defeat at your hands. Lu Chenju, there won't be a next time. One day, I reckon, will catch up to you. His voice rang out powerful and spirited, somewhat adolescent. Lu Chenju bore no malice towards Ricken. He, too, was a pure martial arts pursuer. He offered a slight smile, and with a closed fist salute he said, Then keep working hard, looking forward to the day you become the holy image. Chapter 105, 95 The Fist is the Name. Ricken left the stage with a gloomy expression and was taken away by the waiting medical team. Lu Chenju didn't use all his dark force, just temporarily causing Ricken's muscles to ache, swell, and be unable to exert strength. A little rest would be fine, and it wouldn't even affect his match in the afternoon. This was a spar, and the point was to stop at the right moment. In the center of attention, Lu Chenju returned to the resting area. Old Jai's devilish laughter was incessant. Good job, a martial artist needs exactly this kind of spirit. Martial arts is the path to invincibility. Humble but not servile, proud but not arrogant, yet possessing the spirit of none but me. Having defeated the giant elephant fighting hall twice, old Jai was ecstatic. He connected a call to Jai Feiyan, proudly saying, Your junior brother is already in the top 16, just waiting for the finals tomorrow. Jai Feiyan laughed and replied, No need to tell me, I already know. With junior brother's strength, I dare not say he'll be the first, but the top 3 is stable. If only I were there at the scene. Flying swallow see flying unrestrained. In the stands, the cheerleading team led by Shiruyu was also shouting with voices that shook the sky. The audience also cheered for Lu Chenju's name. It was obvious that this man was a hot favorite for the championship. The commentator shouted excitedly, I've been commentating for 5 years, and it's the first time I've seen someone win 4 consecutive matches with a single punch each time. Will Lu Chenju be able to seize the championship? We'll find out tomorrow. The morning's matches ended. Rickon walked with his head down behind his father. Rickett didn't scold him, but instead smiled and said, "Losing doesn't matter. What matters is if you don't have the courage to face Lu Chenju again after being defeated once. Rickon, you have the potential to become the Holy Image King." "Father, I'll work hard." "Rest up, get ready for the afternoon's matches. One day, I'll defeat Lu Chenju fair and square on the stage with the stance of the Holy Image King. The giant elephant family never admits defeat." Hearing his son's bold words, Rickett inwardly sighed. With Lu Chenju's composure, the following matches would likely be unstoppable. Beating him seemed nearly impossible, but Rickon indeed needed an unrelenting goal to chase. Lu Chenju, then, was a good target. At noon, Jai Xuantong drove Lu Chenju to his luxurious residence in Pingjiang Mansion, and Lu Chenju also saw his parents, whom he hadn't seen for a long time. They ran out excitedly, saying, "Son, you were so cool in today's competition." "Yes, really strong. Now online everyone's calling you One Punch Zio Lu." Lu Guoping opened a video related to the Sioux City Martial Arts Exchange competition, and half of the comments were discussing Lu Chenju. His popularity was unmatched. "Lu Chenju is so cool, punching his way into the finals." "Indeed, One Punch Lu Chenju." "They say he's a student at Dragon City Martial Arts University, deserving of the top martial arts school reputation. Whether it's his aura or his strength, he's just different. We'll see his performance tomorrow. Besides him, there are several strong competitors, but they didn't get easy matches to finish with one punch, so they lack the spectacle and drama of Lu Chenju. When it comes to strength, it's hard to say. Anyway, I feel Lu Chenju is the most awesome. He obviously didn't use his full strength. I'm looking forward to seeing him in national-level competitions and even the all-nations martial arts competition in the future." Lu Chenju glanced at the videos. There were already hundreds related to the exchange competition, with a total of millions of views. The hottest videos had even broken into the top 10 trending topics in Sioux City. He guessed it was the Daoist science and technology, the organizer buying trending searches for marketing. Almost every video had people discussing him, high praises to the sky. Lu Chenju was certainly a bit happy. In this era, fame was important. The ranking and popularity from various competitions would increase the value of his private lessons in the future, and it would be easier to attract students when opening a martial arts hall after becoming a martial artist. High rankings in prestigious competitions could even add bonus points for admissions to martial arts university. Once in martial arts university, the school would evaluate students' potential based on their performance in competition. In short, the fists represented fame and benefit. Fame and benefit, in turn, would nourish the fists. Jai Xuantong smiled and said, "Today, let Aunt make us a feast. Let's enjoy a good gathering, and after eating, I'll send Chenju back to the university and pick him up again for the finals tomorrow." Li Xianghua said in a hurry, "Teacher Jai, let me do it. I can cook as well." Lu Guoping said, "You have to let us do something, or it won't feel right staying here." Jai Xuantong, "Don't be polite, both of you. Chenju is our hero at Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall. His fame is the hall's fame. You are the hero's parents. If you really feel the need to do something, just help out Aunt in the kitchen." The old couple happily went off to work. "Thank you, master. When I stay at the university, I'll bring them there." Lu Chenju looked at his parents, whose spirit had much improved, and felt grateful. "Don't mention it. Let me introduce you to my family." Master led Lu Chenju to the training room. A lady with a mature and gentle demeanor and curly hair was practicing Heavenly Pile. She was actually in her 50s, but looked as if she was in her 30s due to her high cultivation and good maintenance. In comparison, the 40-something Li Xianghua appeared older. The master cleared his throat and said, "Chenju, this is your master's wife, also of 9th rank cultivation. We met at Dragon City Martial Arts University. When you have time later on, you can also find a companion for yourself." Lu Chenju greeted respectfully. "Hello, master's wife." The lady smiled and responded, "Chenju, I often hear old Jai praising you. You indeed are a very smart and spirited young man. Congratulations on making it to the finals. Do you have confidence for tomorrow?" "I have confidence. Jai Feiyan often calls me and talks about you, saying your strength is not inferior to some of her university classmates. It's a pity that girl doesn't practice as diligently." Lu Chenju's hard work was well known within the local area. At noon, A luxurious living room was filled with dozens of dishes, and Jai Chuantong made everyone sit down and held a celebration banquet for Lu Chenju. Old Jai, who knew how to do things right, popped open champagne when the atmosphere peaked. Shiruyu, with a cup of tea, stood up and smiled. "Come, let's wish our junior brother success in tomorrow's final. May your martial arts flourish." Lu Chenju substituted tea for wine and said sincerely, "Thank you to my teacher and master's wife, and thank you to my seniors. No matter what great achievements I may or may not reach in the future, I will never forget everyone at Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall." Old Jai laughed heartily. "With this word from my disciple, I am at ease." After the meal, Jai Chuantong drove Lu Chenju back to the university. Then, he went to the gym to see if Du could make a comeback in the resurrection match. Chapter 106, 96. The Fist is Li. Dragon City High School. Chenju is back. "Yo, isn't that one punch Zio Lu?" "Hehata." As soon as he returned to the classroom, it exploded with noise. A group of students led by Liu Huan started to jeer. Lu Chenju said, "Class monitor, could you lend me your notes from this morning? I need to catch up on the class." "Sure thing, you truly never rest, do you? The winter exams are coming up soon, and the written tests are important too." With that one sentence from Lu Chenju, many classmates fell silent. Indeed, in 2 months some of them would be leaving. The elimination system of the martial arts school was truly cruel, but when compared to the university, that was nothing. University was the real hell. "Damn it, study up. With Chenju in our class, it's like having a treasure. With him here, every time I think about slacking off for a bit, I feel so ashamed that I can't bear it, so I might as well hit the books." The students no longer felt like teasing Lu Chenju. Nighttime. At the Pingjiang mansion, Lu Guoping was practicing his boxing. By now, he had finally reached the beginner level in basic boxing, and with the conditioning over the past half a year, his chi blood value had successfully reached 0.81. His goal was simple: to break through one was enough. He had to admit, he didn't have a trace of comprehension. Compared to him, Li Xianghua was much better. Li Xianghua had a dream. She too wished her chi blood value would break through one, to strengthen her body, aiming to live to 100 years old, and see her son make a name for himself on the stage of the all-nations martial arts competition. Lu Guoping's phone rang. "Hey, old Lu, where are you working these days?" The voice on the other end was Wang Kang's. Hearing that, Lu Guoping's anger surged. "Wang Kang, I advise you to pay up the compensation soon so we can part on good terms. Otherwise, when the court enforces it, you'll have a tough time." His tone was stern, but he knew that getting the money back would be difficult. Someone like Wang Kang, a classic deadbeat debtor, had plenty of ways to dodge debts. He didn't really need that tens of thousands of yuan, it just annoyed him. Li Xianghua said, "Look at you getting angry again. Getting angry harms the body. If we can't get the money back, let's just forget it. We shouldn't stoop to this person's level. Hang up." Lu Guoping felt she made sense and was about to hang up. Wang Kang's reluctant voice came through. "Wait, old Lu, what if I pay you back?" Lu Guoping was slightly stunned, then said angrily, "What trick are you trying to pull this time?" "No tricks. I admit I wronged you before without making any excuses. I was broke before, but now that I've got some money, I'll definitely repay you first." "Are you paying back the other workers too?" "Why do you care about that? I am." Lu Guoping said loudly. "Wang Kang, if you truly pay it back, then you've got some conscience left." After that, he hung up the phone. Soon after, his mobile phone chimed with a message about a deposit. "Your account ending in 3458 has received a deposit of 68,400 yuan." Lu Guoping checked several times, making sure it was real. He laughed. Wang Kang actually paid back the money. He finally found his conscience. For him, this was an unexpected piece of good news. Li Xianghua thought for a moment and said, "He must have seen the video of Chenju's match, realized that our son is a formidable martial artist, a future martial arts grandmaster, so he chickened out." Lu Guoping nodded. "That makes sense. In the end, it's all about strength. Might makes right. In the martial arts era, if your fists are strong enough, your arguments are strong too. If it weren't for their son showing such talent, their ordinary family could do nothing but suffer in silence against a rich and influential deadbeat like Wang Kang." Upon this thought, Lu Guoping couldn't help but say with passion, Studying, what a bunch of crap. A man should practice boxing. Li Zhanghu startled. What are you raving about? Master the basic boxing first. In Tiger Spring District, at Zih Martial Arts Hall, Wang Kang ended the call with an ugly expression on his face. Beside him, Wang Jian emanated the powerful aura of a martial artist. Wang Kang wiped the sweat from his forehead and trembled. Brother, don't scare me anymore. Isn't it enough that I admit my mistake? Wang Jian withdrew his aura and said coldly and without emotion. I also was careless. I forgot your stubborn ways from when you were little. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. I hope it's the last. And don't go around using the name of Zih Martial Arts Hall to engage in illegal activities. As the eldest brother, I am like your father. If you bring me any problems, I won't hesitate to personally send you to jail. I understand, brother. Please show some respect in front of my nephew here. Wang Kang looked at Wang He nearby, begging with his eyes. Wang Jian looked at his son and said, his voice full of vigor. I wanted him to see that. Wang He, remember this, our Wang family was once a distinguished and respected lineage. Although we've fallen on harder times, we should never do anything that would tarnish the reputation of the Wang family. The strong swing their fists at the stronger. This is the true path to becoming more powerful. Swing your fists at the weaker, and your martial arts will become stagnant, failing to advance, and you'll bring about your own destruction. Wang He nodded and said straightforwardly, Father, I understand. I won't turn out like my uncle. Wang Kang felt a shiver of anger, but didn't dare to retaliate. Wang Jian glanced at him and said, You may leave now. Wang Kang felt as if he had been granted a reprieve, and left the martial arts hall. He had a downcast look in his eyes, and said to himself, What are you being so high and mighty about? It's just because you were lucky. If I had been born with intermediate root bone like you, I could be a martial artist by now. The long-standing jealousy and resentment toward Wang Jian erupted at that moment. Wang Kang got into his car and sped off into the deep, dark night ahead. It was nighttime. Lu Chenju finished his painful 2-hour session of the Dragon and Tiger Heavenly Pile. He looked towards the martial arts tree. Dragon and Tiger Heavenly Pile, 11th acupoint opened. Opening acupoints is getting harder and took even more days this time. To open all 720 acupoints is indeed as difficult as ascending to heaven, and breaking through the 7 restraints is even more challenging. With the Haoxi acupoint open, streams of mysterious power flowed into his body, slightly increasing Lu Chenju's qi blood. The competition tomorrow seems even more promising. Lu Chenju closed his eyes. He could clearly sense that his hearing had improved, faintly picking up the sound of insects cutting through the night air outside his window. When he opened his eyes, even in the night, his vision was brighter than before, like a tiger. The tiger is a fierce nocturnal beast. The opening of the Haoxi acupoint improves hearing, strengthens vision and night vision, all highly beneficial for combat. Truly, it is an intersection of the 8 meridians. Lu Chenju was in high spirits. Once he returned from tomorrow's competition, he would seek his teacher to learn the pile skill for the 12th acupoint. He wasn't too far behind Liu Huan anymore, the one with the most acupoints opened. The next day before dawn, as the sky was just beginning to lighten, Lu Chenju got out of bed to practice his fist technique in the Tiger Garden, eager to achieve perfection in the mountain crossing body, and see the effects of such a divine martial technique. After practicing his fist and having breakfast, Jai Chuantong came to pick him up. Smiling as they met, he said, Du did well yesterday, actually making a comeback in the elimination round, haha. At the very least, he's made it into the top 32, which is a respectable place. Lu Chenju also smiled. That's great news. This competition should place the Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall in the top 10 in Sioux City, ensuring booming business. Ha, just waiting for you to bring home the championship. Old Jai urged Lu Chenju into the car. At that moment, Liu Huan and a group of classmates rushed to the school gate. He shouted, Chenju, let's see you take first place. Tiger Teeth Girl laughed. You and Zhang Shushan are our class's last hope. The crowd called out together. Dragon City, world's #1. Teacher Hong Fu also came to join the excitement. Kid, show them the ferocity of the tiger form and knock everyone out. From the odd buzz in the surrounding, Wang Gang's voice could be heard again. When in doubt, cross-train in martial arts. Seeing all these people, Jai Chuantong couldn't help but smile, perhaps remembering his own youthful days. who hasn't been young and spirited? Lu Chenju bowed to the crowd with a fist and confidently said, "Everyone, wait for my triumphant return." Sioux City Gymnasium. Today was the final day of the youth group competition. Yesterday's matches had great promotional outcomes, especially since Little Lou with one punch had drawn in more spectators, and the organizers had happily sold a few thousand more tickets. In a certain VIP area, Chen Yi, the head of the Sioux City branch of Taoist Science and Technology, was chatting and laughing with big shots from Sioux City's martial arts circle and political sphere. Yuan Xianbo, the vice chairman of the Sioux City Martial Arts Association, was also there, and even someone as influential as Chen Yi had to act with utmost respect around him. Yuan Xianbo, the martial arts grandmaster of the Sioux City Yuan family, the founder of the White Ape Fist, was one of the few local grandmasters in Sioux City, a lifelong professor at Pingjiang Martial Arts University. Chen Yi said with a smile, "This competition has really brought to light many excellent young people. Your Yuan Family Martial Arts Academy's Yuan Zidin, the Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall's Lu Chenju, the Zih Martial Arts Hall's Wang He. These are all candidates for future martial artists. Sioux City is truly a land blessed with outstanding people." Yuan Xianbo replied, "To be honest, aside from Lu Chenju, the others aren't that impressive." Chen Yi flattered, "Grandmaster Yuan is being modest. I think Yuan Zidin is also quite remarkable. As the scion of a prominent family, he advanced to the 5th rank at the mere age of 16, despite being of low-class root bone." The Grandmaster said impatiently, "All right, stop the flattery. Do you think your judgment is better than mine? Lu Chenju has already reached the 6th rank, and this person has only truly been practicing fist techniques for a little over a year. Yuan Zidin, having enjoyed the Yuan family's resources since childhood and receiving full support after his breakthrough, still doesn't match up to a year's worth of effort from an ordinary youth. The two are incomparable. Chen Yi, you're a businessman, and it's natural that you're slick. However, you'll inevitably have to deal with us at the Martial Arts Association in the future. Martial artists are dedicated to the path and fervent in their fists. We don't appreciate roundabout methods. I hope you understand my point." The junior has learned a lot. I've been too greasy. Chen Yi wisely shut up, thinking to himself, "This Lu Chenju, even a grandmaster holds him in high regard. It shouldn't be a problem for him to become a martial artist in the future. It seems possible to report this to headquarters and invest in his image early on. This will facilitate our company's development in Sioux City." In this era, political, economic, and cultural aspects are often reliant on the influence of martial artists. Companies like Taoist Science and Technology, Divine Martial Technology, Martial Medicine Factory No. 6, and Strong Martial Pharmaceutical, which mainly serve martial artists, are particularly so. The founder of Taoist Science and Technology was also a breakthrough 5 restraints practitioner. Li Taisheng, the Laughing Heaven. Chapter 107, 97 Fierce Tiger entering the mountain and driving away the Ape King. Li Taisheng, graduate of the Martial Arts University in the Imperial Capital. A big name in the Imperial Capital martial arts circle. Chen Yi was in high spirits, for Taoist Science and Technology sponsored Martial Arts Academy exchange competitions all over the country to discover talented individuals with angel investments from those of low-class, root bone. Each year, they provided certain sponsorships to talents like Lu Chenju, with the amount depending on their giftedness. Generally speaking, the first round of sponsorship funds was not substantial, more like casting a wide net. If someone showed exceptional performance during this period, they would promptly adjust the amount and increase investment to build a strong binding relationship with the future strong, which in turn would benefit the company's operations. Rest area. Lu Chenju looked at today's final matchup list. He Rickens made a comeback, and Liu Quanhai too. Jai Chuntong chuckled and said, Tusk, it would be interesting if you ran into Ricken again." Bahaging Liu Tong, escorting Liu Quanhai, dropped by for a visit. "Not bad, old Jai, you found yourself a treasure." Liu Tong was incredibly envious, even though his nephew Liu Quanhai was not bad either. But compared to Lu Chenju, better not to mention it. Jai Chuntong smiled and said, "Quanhai is quite impressive as well." As the two exchanged pleasantries, Lu Chenju entered the arena. "Chenju, go for it." Shiruyu cheered from the stands. At that moment, the enthusiasm of the audience in the arena was notably warmer. One punch Xiao Lu. Lu Chenju. The The commentator excitedly said. I wonder if Lu Chenju can create a legend and make it into the top 16 with just 5 punches. On the stage, Mingxi Martial Arts Hall Li Ming, skilled in snake form fist. This opponent was a short-haired girl with 4th rank peak cultivation. She was somewhat stronger than the likes of Liu Quanhai and Du's lot. Please, Lu Chenju said with a smile. The short-haired girl moved like a snake weaving through water, approaching Lu Chenju in a few steps. Well aware of Lu Chenju's prowess in close combat, she chose to keep her distance, using feints to draw his attention and waiting for the right moment to strike like a venomous snake. Lu Chenju got into position, responding to all changes with unchangeable readiness. After about 15 seconds of waiting, the short-haired girl still dared not come close. So Lu Chenju opted to make a move, tapping the ground with his feet and arriving in front of her in 3 steps. Snake delves into the hole. The girl made her move, her pale palm aiming straight for Lu Chenju's throat. Lu Chenju's left hand returned to clamp hers, the enormous force causing the girl's complexion to change instantly, and in the next moment, the power-loaded right palm was already pressed against her flat chest. Among the 8 techniques, this was hanging. Striking someone was like hanging a picture. Boom! The girl was sent flying backward, tumbling off the stage. Lu Chenju was somewhat bored. He had been too lucky, as he hadn't encountered a single one of the 15 or so 5th-rank contenders, not allowing him a proper warm-up. Another one-punch victory. The commentator said, fist clenched with excitement. Countless people in the stands stood up cheering. What kind of matchup is this? Can we get Xiao Lu a decent opponent? That palm strike was too cool. Lu Chenju advanced into the top 16 without a hitch. Next, Du, Liu Quanhai, and Zhang Shushan were unlucky in their draws, facing 5th-rank opponents and stopping at the top 32. In contrast, Ricken was lucky, facing a 4th-rank opponent. After a tough battle, he fortuitously advanced into the top 16. Top 16, nearly all of them 5th rank. Lu Chenju became increasingly cautious to prevent capsizing in a gutter. Soon his opponent emerged. Yuan Zidin, from the Yuan family martial arts hall, a member of the Yuan family, He hadn't heard of this person from Yuan Jiging before. Aristocratic families had been passed down since ancient times, their branches spread far and wide, and blood relations were actually quite distant. Most of the time, family recognition relied on a genealogy book, and it was said there was even a distinction between the inner and outer branches. After stepping onto the stage, Yuan Zidin's eyes filled with battle intent, and he confidently smiled, saying, "Great, I finally meet a decent opponent." His journey here was also overwhelmingly victorious. Though he hadn't achieved instant kills, he didn't feel that he was weaker than Lu Chenju. It's just that his opponents were too strong. Lu Chenju certainly had strength, but to have punched his way through to this point, it was more due to luck. "Please," Lu Chenju said with a smile. "Watch the fist." After exchanging courtesies, both of them charged at each other like arrows. Yuan Zidin, stepping with forest crossing steps, transformed into a nimble ape. He used the 2nd-class martial arts technique, Ape King Palm. Nimbleness mixed with ferocity. Lu Chenju's tiger eyes widened, and his throat unconsciously mimicked the sound of a tiger's roar, fully releasing the chi of the tiger form and sweeping away the aura of the Ape King. The tiger is the king of beasts. Ape King mountain occupying. Yuan Zidin leaped forward with a bound, like the great sage taking to the skies, his right knee transforming into a spear, stabbing at Lu Chenju's jaw, with arms like blades slashing toward Lu Chenju's face, coming in for the kill from the start. He wanted to decide the victor with one move, defeating the so-called one-punch Xiao Lu. That would give him an even greater sense of achievement. In the VIP viewing room, Chen Yi applauded and cheered. "Cool." Grandmaster Yuan couldn't bear to watch, thinking to himself, "Damn thing, you've lost." When facing an evenly matched formidable enemy, one must first probe and adapt, looking for the enemy's pattern and weaknesses. Going all out with a risky move from the start is completely gambling with luck. Grandmaster Yuan did not have high hopes for this Yuan family disciple. Bang! A crisp explosion sounded from the stage. Lu Chenju's right arm coiled with force, striking with his elbow downward. His 6th-rank dark force burst out, astonishingly smashing down the most powerful knee strike of Yuan Zidin. Engaging one area affected the entire body, causing Yuan Zidin's palm strikes to deflate instantly, landing weakly on Lu Chenju's body, easily neutralized by his 6th rank strength coupled with his long-term cross-training body. Even if he didn't deliberately circulate his Arhat skill, his cross-training body far surpassed ordinary people, and that layer of green membrane on the surface of his body was not vegetarian. The premise of elbow not being as good as knee is that both parties' physical quality is roughly equal. Yuan Zidin hugged his knee, lying on the ground howling in pain. The stands were utterly silent. The audience knew that Yuan Zidin was also a popular contender for the championship. Everyone was looking forward to a fierce battle between dragons and tigers. They never imagined the fight would end just as it began, with Lu Chenju once again taking down his enemy with a single strike. Is he really only 16 years old? Even the commentator was stunned for a moment before shouting. Lu Chenju wins. Again with one punch, it's crazy. Cheers surged like waves. It's still one punch Xiao Lu. So cool. The power of one punch, straight into the top 8. Who else is there? If the earlier matches could be said to be arranged with weak opponents, then this time Yuan Zidin, a scion of the aristocratic family with a 5th rank at its peak, was still taken down with one move. This kind of overwhelming power, even if Lu Chenju was at the 6th rank, seemed rather exaggerated. This indicated that he was not only strong, but his combat awareness, experience, and other aspects were all superior to his opponents. The medical team arrived on the stage and pulled down the unwilling Yuan Zidin. This scion of the aristocratic family stared hard at Lu Chenju, saying discontentedly, "Flying Swallow Martial Arts Hall, is it? If I get the chance, I'll come to spar with you." He was unwilling, and he had even thought out his victory speech for after winning the championship. He wanted to make a name for himself in front of tens of thousands. But unfortunately, his journey ended at the top 16. Lu Chenju didn't say anything, turned around and left the stage. In the resting area, Jai Chuantong laughed until his mouth couldn't close. Haha, what a move, fierce tiger entering the mountain and driving away the Ape King. No charge PS. According to reader suggestions, the name for breaking through 5th rank shackles has been changed to Martial Arts Great Grandmaster. If Old Tian later writes Martial Arts Emperor out of writing habit, please point it out in the comments section.